The creaking door woke Jeff. In the dim light of the fire's coals, and through sleep-filled eyes, he could see Jane trying to slip past him with a backpack on over her shoulder. He sat up as straight as he could in the big chair and tried to assess what he was seeing. "What are you doing, Jane?" Um, she looked caught and a little scared. Then some anger flared in her eyes. "I guess I'm escaping. It's the only thing left for me to do." "What do you mean?" I feel like I have to flee in the night. Kaylee's down on the road waiting for me. I told her it was going to be a hike and that I had to wait till you were asleep." She looked at her phone. "Now it looks like I lost signal. I hate this place." "I told you you could go any time you wanted to." Jeff wiped his eyes. "You didn't need to flee in the night. You didn't need to call your ex-girlfriend." "The hell I didn't. I'm not walking 30 miles to town, and I couldn't talk to you about it, or Tom for that matter. He's started to buy into it all. I don't. I'm going. I'm going on my terms." Somewhere, in the distant darkness of the night, Jeff detected the familiar mechanical pulsing sound that began pushing in from the periphery of his own awareness as he dealt with his daughter. Always the drama, always the "I'm a victim" crap. "I tried, your mom tried. We tried so hard to raise you better than that. You've never accepted me for I've always loved you, would do anything for you." As the pulsing vibration echoed from the valley and across the logs of the cabin, it was thrust to the forefront of his consciousness, and he spoke the word that came instantly to his mind: helicopter. "It's probably just a medevac, Dad. Geez, you need to mellow out, really." He moved faster than she thought he could, crossing the big room of the cabin in what seemed like a single bound. Before she could react, he had snatched the iPhone from her hands and stomped it under his bare heel. Picking it up like the carcass of something dead, he carried it to the wood stove, opened the spring handle, and tossed it in the firebox, followed by some thinner pieces of wood. "What the hell, Dad? I'm pretty sure that's illegal, like a domestic violence charge or something." "They're coming for us. Sooner than I would have guessed, but—" "No one is coming for us. No one is going to help. That's exactly why I'm leaving." Tears were welling up in her eyes as her well-practiced tough facade began to crack. Jeff's heart faltered as he stepped into the Crocs next to his chair. He then stepped to the body armor tree. Tom was up and at his door, awakened by Jane's yelling. "What's happening?" "They're coming. Grab your go bags, jackets, boots, and carbines. No one is coming, Tom. Dad has lost his mind. He's really crazy. He hears a medevac helicopter, and he's so paranoid he thinks they're coming for us." Jeff was slinking into his plate carrier, then strapping on his helmet as he spoke. "I don't have time to argue. That's not any of our local medevac helicopters. That's something different. Grab your gear, go out Tom's window, and get to the mine. I'll buy us some time." "Dad!" He could hear only disbelief in Jane's voice, and in the next words she sounded like a little girl again, and he knew then, in that instant, that his plan had changed. "Dad, no!" The turbines were spinning up in the darkness. The rotors stopped magically as they went through a certain speed by the strobe lights. The machine was in motion. Everything was. "Come on, Sheriff," the voice said through the David Clark headsets he wore. "We'll be the first off." It was Booth talking, sitting next to Prather on the floor with their feet out the open doorway, leaning on the skid with a strap across them. "You two look a little crowded there, and I'm not nearly as high-speed, low-drag as you guys. I spent a little time in the Army doing this kind of thing, and I just remember something called dynamic rollover, I think. Anyway, I'm not sure what it was, but it wound up with the soldiers in the doors losing legs." "Brian's a good stick here, Sheriff. Don't need to worry about anything like that." The helicopter sensor operator's voice trailed off with a bit of a laugh. The pilot chimed in with a matter-of-fact confidence as the helo lifted off and started forward motion. 19-minute time of flight, gentlemen." As the lights of the airport and town slipped behind the helicopter, and the cool air bit more with the increase in speed, Taylor looked at his watch instinctively to mark time. Then he just closed his eyes and accepted the darkness. His old helmet was in his lap, as the intercom wasn't compatible with his hearing protection, and he couldn't fit the David Clark headset over or under it. So while the others had their NVGs down and were all plugged comfortably into the intercom, enjoying the flight below the mountaintops in various shades of green, he just closed his eyes, eager for the whole thing to be over. He leaned on his patrol rifle, muzzle down, lest a negligently discharged round hit something important overhead, namely the engine. ISR just went blind. Drone is reporting they went 100% obscured by cloud layer, the sensor operator said. They can't descend through the layer due to icing. They're reporting the base is at 10,000, so weather shouldn't be an issue for us. And there's no activity at the cabin before the clouds rolled in. What do you wish to do, Special Agent Prather? Press on. Taylor just shook his head. So many links in the chain that could have been broken to prevent what was about to happen. 10 minutes out, called the pilot. They're coming here. They're coming for us, Jane. Just go out Tom's window now, both of you. I'll meet you at the Southern Cache in a few minutes, in a few days. But you need to go now, and remember to stay under the tree cover. Remember everything I taught you, both of you. Jeff was standing in front of the door in his helmet, plate carrier, t-shirt, ranger panties, and Crocs. The carbine slung across his chest added to the absurdity and insanity that Jane saw. But as the rumble of the helicopter became a roar, it was clear he was right. Turning to the door, he inhaled and said loudly enough to be heard over the sound of the helicopter one last time, "Go." As he opened the door, he held his hands high and was instantly silhouetted by a blinding searchlight. All the things he had ever done wrong, all the mistakes he had ever made, he felt he could now make right in one shining, proper moment, and no one would have to die.